Welcome to Cool Kids Parent Information Session 2. In Session 1, we covered the following topics. What is anxiety? The importance of rewarding your child throughout the program, practice of strategies, realistic thinking strategy, and stepladder strategy. In Session 2, we will cover detective thinking, stepladder approach, and parent traps. Realistic thinking has been covered in Session 2 with your child. If you need to revisit an example of detective thinking, please refer to page 17 in your parent workbook. The rationale behind detective thinking is for your child to find evidence or clues about worried thoughts to help them find a realistic thought. The idea is that your child or teenager needs to become a detective whenever they start to worry about something. The worried thought is the mystery, and they need to find some clues to decide whether it is true or not. It's important to look for clues or evidence to help evaluate a situation, not just to look for evidence to confirm the thought. Additional evidence finding questions can be found in your parent workbook on page 21. Realistic thinking is a skill that will take some time to master. For young children or teens who ask for assistance, you can help them by asking for evidence questions from the worksheet. As you can see on PowerPoint, the questions are, what are the facts? What else could happen? Did your worried thought come true last time? What is likely to happen? What has happened to other people? Suggesting alternate possibilities that they have not identified. Doing writing so that they can concentrate on their answers. Encouraging your child to consider each question no matter how silly or obvious the answer seems. As your child grows confidence with this skill, you can slowly reduce the amount of assistance that you provide. Please refer to page 24 in your parent workbook to find a realistic thinking worksheet for you to fill out. Have a think about an occasion that you find stressful. Completing this activity may assist you to gain a better understanding of the detective thinking strategy so you can support your child. In Parent Session 1, I discussed exposure or stepladders as being a common sense approach. It's an approach you may have already tried to help your child overcome their fears. There are 6 recommended steps when you create a stepladder. 1. Set a goal that is practical, something that is being able to be achieved. 2. Identify your thought. What do you think will happen if you try your goal? 3. Brainstorm all the possible steps that are like your goal but are easier to do or may bring up some worry. 4. Give each idea a worry rating. 5. Choose practical steps to fill the low, middle, and high steps on the ladder and write them in each area. 6. Negotiate a reward with your child when they reach their goal. Allow your child to choose the reward every time you try a step or they try a step. It's important that your child moves to the next step once they have had an opportunity to learn that nothing bad has happened. You may need to stay in the situation longer than expected until your child is no longer scared or repeating a step a number of times in quick succession. Please refer to pages 32 and 33 in your parent workbook for more information. For young children who are not yet capable of reflecting on their thoughts, the evidence-finding process can be adult-directed. This can be done by supporting your child to brainstorm their thoughts. So how can you support a child to brainstorm? You can help your child to brainstorm with the potential steps. Write your ideas on a piece of paper or post-its. Think of situations where you worry about the same thing as your child. For example, a child who worries about getting hurt and whose goal is it to ride a bike. This would likely find situations such as climbing on play equipment or balancing on the edge. These thoughts or worries would create the same worry about getting hurt when riding a bike. Trying these ideas of climbing on equipment or balancing on the edge would make great steps to build up to riding your bike or getting hurt on your bike. Take one step and then think of ways you could make it easier or harder. Take one step and think of different places or people that your child could do it with. For more information, please refer to pages 50 and 51 in your parent workbook. To assist your child to identify situations that cause worry or fear, it's important to create a worries and fears list. Your child's ladder needs to be individual to their particular fears and goals. So let's unpack and provide specific stepladder plans. As you can see on the PowerPoint, the goal is for the child to go to school camp for 3 nights. The thought is, I won't cope being away from home. And the reward is a movie night with friends. As you can see, the lower steps are more achievable. Once lower steps are worked through, your child can go up the stepladder to the middle and the higher steps. Throughout going up the stepladder, this should build on confidence and reduce fears and worries for your child. Please refer to pages 37 to 42 for more specific stepladder examples. It's important to ensure you are supporting your child by checking their stepladders. Are those steps practical? Are there any steps that seem too hard? Are there any steps that seem too easy? Or are there too many goals on your stepladder? If you answer yes to any of these questions, you need to review your child's stepladder. We will now cover how you may get caught up in parent traps when supporting your child. One of the most common difficulties parents have is drawing a line between their child's anxious behaviours, the times when their child is misbehaving, and times where your child might be just behaving like a typical child. Some important points to consider: aggression is not okay even when your child is anxious. Why might the task be scary or worrying? Think about it from your child's perspective. For a new situation, ask yourself if all children would be worried or nervous for the first time. If there are no fears, is your child gaining something else or getting out of a disliked task or chore or responsibility? It's important to build on your child's independence, to build on their confidence. Get into the habit of allowing your child to do more for him or herself. Children do learn best from making mistakes. Try to be aware when you feel you are stepping in to help your child. It is also helpful to build your child's confidence by deliberately providing them with opportunities to succeed independently. Allowing for your child to experience natural consequences. This provides opportunity for your child to experience that life involves some unpredictability and some situations may not always go the way that they had hoped. When you have a child who is prone to anxiety, one who experiences anxiety more often and more intensely, as parents, there are a number of traps that are easy to fall into. Trap 1. Providing reassurance. This may be caused by your child being repetitive and asking the same questions to whether the situation is safe or okay. A natural reaction is to provide your child with a reassuring answer. Using detective thinking questions would assist your child to think about the particular situation rather than their answer or their questions. Allow them to work out the answers for themselves using the detective thinking questions. Trap 2. Jumping in too soon. A loving and caring parent can learn to jump in into a situation where the child may be worried or have fear before the child can get the chance to get upset. Jumping in too soon can reduce chances for your child to develop skills to problem solve, which then may lead to a situation where they avoid particular situations. Trap 3. Allowing avoidance. As mentioned in session 1, avoidance keeps anxiety going. Although modifying situations for your child or allowing them to avoid certain situations, this does not allow for opportunity for your child to develop their skills, which may assist them to develop confidence or independence. Trap 4. Being too tough or being too critical. If you push your child too far too soon, they become so anxious they want to avoid situations even more. You can read specific examples on anxiety traps on pages 27 and 28 in your parents' workbook. On page 29, you can reflect on parent traps you may be engaging in. What ways are you falling into parent traps described? What are the situations where you get trapped? I highly recommend you complete this activity. So how can a parent support a child without encouraging anxiety? Listen to what your child says and what they do. Name the feelings you can see and check what you heard so that what they are thinking. Acknowledge or empathize and then suggest a way forward. Validating your child does not mean you agree with them. Providing feedback is also important when working with your child who has anxiety. It allows them to acknowledge the work they are doing through their fears and their worries. Providing feedback means you provide honesty. Do not exaggerate or be critical. Be specific. I can see it was difficult to go up to the shopkeeper and ask for a bottle of water. Let's work on this when we are next at the shops again. Give focused feedback. Be straight to the point. I'm proud of you. You went to the shopkeeper by yourself. Provide constructive feedback. You were brave to go and buy a bottle of water from the shopkeeper today. Maybe you could work on using your louder voice when asking next time. Building independence and confidence. Before offering help or stepping in, ask yourself, what is the worst that may happen if I didn't help? Or say to yourself, wait a few minutes more, or wait a few moments more. Let them do small tasks independently. What skills will your child need to be successful? Start building on these skills every day. If anxious, take a small step first. Don't flee, pause, take a small step, and then try again. Take advantage of random opportunities and allow natural consequences. And finally, remember confidence comes from experience. Now please refer to page 54 and 55 in your parent workbook. Reflect on how you would like to focus or what you would like to focus on and plan and what you would like to do differently. What trap will you focus on? When does this currently happen? And what will you do differently? You have now finished session 2. The take-home messages from session 2 are: fears need to be faced gradually and consistently to make progress. There are traps that parents can fall into that may help keep anxiety going. Children need to feel heard but can be encouraged to deal with situations independently. Deliberately building independence and allowing natural consequence builds self-confidence and resilience. Please ensure you contact if you have any questions about any content in session 1, 2, or your child or parent workbooks. Please remember it's important to engage in home task activities, encourage your child to engage in strategies between sessions, and to discuss rewards to help motivation throughout the program. I'll be in contact in week 5 and week 7 of the program to discuss the progress of your child and to discuss any further information.